Coach, what are your early impressions?
Yeah, I'm really pleased. I think early on, you're looking at big picture stuff. You're looking at effort by the guys. You're looking at attitude. You're looking at body language. You're looking at the tempo of practice. All those things I've been very pleased with. I mean, the first 3 days, these guys have been very efficient, and you're just trying to eliminate any guys that are slowing the group down, kind of what we talk about, energy vampires, that are high maintenance guys, that are not giving effort. And really, we don't have that. And a big part of that is the culture that Coach Swaney has really worked hard, and these players have worked hard, leaders have worked hard to create. And so that's what's really refreshing for me as a coach, is when a bunch of those leaders, especially on offense, they leave last year, the standard does not change. And that's the biggest thing. And then as we go, obviously there'll be a lot of evaluation and execution and all that stuff. But right now, this is kind of the first week of fall camp is really about kind of setting the standard, setting the tempo of practice, the expectations, and being sure. I mean, we got 3 groups. I can remember, back whenever I was playing, you came in fall camp, you had 2 groups go, and that 3rd group, they sit over there and watched, as an individual for about a month. And we got every freshman in there repping, getting a lot of reps being thrown in there, and guys have responded the right way. So I'm really pleased with the start that we've got off to.
What did you see from some of those freshmen? Anybody in particular standing out?
Yeah, I think overall the biggest thing, after the first practice, that's the first time you can get on the field with them. After the first practice, the coaches get together in the locker room and they're like, all right, how are your freshmen? What do you think? And this is the first time I can remember that every coach was like, yes, we hit on him. This guy is exactly what we thought, or even a little bit more. And obviously it's early. We're in jerseys and shorts the first couple of days, but just from an athleticism standpoint, and then also from a maturity standpoint. Like I know from my position, Amari Rogers is probably one of the most mature freshmen that I've had in my 8 years at Clemson. Just super focused. And that's not something that, you can learn a little bit about them in the recruiting process and all that, but you can't find that out till they get here. And I've been very pleased really with all of our freshmen. We're going really fast from an install standpoint. We really wanted to be aggressive with our install and get as much in as we could, and really challenge not just our freshmen, but really that next group of guys that need to step up this year. And those freshmen have responded well.
When you say mature, like what exactly is it that he's so mature about?
I just think, sometimes as freshmen, it takes them a little while to figure out how serious everything, how important everything is. The install, it's not good enough just to come and have the install meetings with the coach, but coming in an hour early and getting on the computer and taking your own notes before we actually have the meeting. That's stuff that a typical junior or senior would do. And ask the right questions. As a coach, I just can gauge it based off of all. I mean, I can remember when Nuke Hopkins came in as a freshman. I can remember when Sammy and Martavis Bryant and Sharon Peak and those guys came in as freshmen, and the questions I would ask and the responses I would get back. And Amari and T, have done an excellent job. And I give really 2 groups credit. Number one, you got to give them credit for really studying it and being ready. But the other thing that I'm proud about is I can tell that our older receivers really spent a lot of time with those freshmen this summer in the skills and drills. And I think that's something that's unique with our group. And I showed the very first night, I showed our wide receivers a picture of the sidelines, I believe in 2011, and you had Sammy and Nuke, Sharon, Jaron, Adam Humphreys, and Martavis Bryant. 6 guys all on that sideline, and every one of those guys are in the NFL. And I think that says something about that culture, where it's not about one guy. It's about all those guys. And we're going to have that situation. We got 9 scholarship guys. And again, we Mike Williams and some of these guys, those are going to be tough guys to replace because they're 225-pound, 6'4" guys. And so you don't just replace a 4th-year player with a freshman right away. But this is the first time that I've had 9 scholarship guys that I feel like can go out there and play winning football. And so that's exciting. But at the same time, I'm really proud of the culture. You got a guy like Ray McLeod that's taken a lot of time with a guy like Amari Rogers. I'm watching him out here today. And Ray's been out and hopefully be back Monday. And Amari's out there getting a lot of reps, and Ray's coaching him up. And to me, that's the kind of stuff that I get excited about as a coach.
It looked like was this off season from a maturity standpoint and just learning to be the guy for guys like Ray and Dion?
Yeah, I think Coach Sweeney and our coaches did a good job of challenging those guys. It's their time to step up. And, one thing when we met with the offense for our first meeting of fall camp, we put up the stats, the end of the year stats for the offense for the last 6 years. And I think 4 of those 6 years were somewhere in the top 15 in total offense and scoring offense. Out of 6 years, we're very consistent. And so that was the message to the offensive guys is, hey, don't buy the lie that's out there that, oh my gosh, Deshaun Watson's left, the Clemson's offense isn't going to be very good. Well, guess what? We've been very consistent for 6 years with a lot of different guys coming in here, different coordinators, some different coaches, and a lot of different players. Why is that? Because this is Clemson's offense, and there's a standard that everybody plays to. And all we need those guys to do is play to that same standard, be the best version of themselves, and everything's going to work out. And so really challenging those guys that, hey, it's your time to step up. There was a time when it was Deshaun Watson's time to step up. I can remember challenging Mike Williams, walking off the field with him, saying, hey, this is your year. It's fall camp. You got to be a dominant player. These guys, Sharon Peak and these guys aren't here anymore. It's your time. So it's really kind of putting some ownership on those guys to really step up and perform. And I feel like those guys are taking that charge very serious.
It looked like T spent some time in the weight room over the summer. Were you surprised or impressed with how his upper body looked?
Yeah, T's one of those guys that's 198 pounds and looks like he's 178 pounds. And that's a good thing, because what that means is he's going to one day be 225 pounds and look like he's 210. And that's what those special ones are. But yeah, I've been pleased with that. It's something that he's really worked on. It doesn't just happen, especially for those skills. He's a guy, he reminds me a lot of DeAndre Hopkins, playing football and basketball back to back every year since the 6th grade, and never really having a chance to get in the weight room. And so now I think this summer was big for him, and I think he'll continue to grow here while he's here.
Everybody wants to talk about the freshman wide receivers, but where have guys like Overton and Powell and Travion Thompson improved the most?
Yeah, I've really been pleased. Starting off with DeAndre Overton, he's a guy that's really taken a big step. He's going to be a big physical guy, and I think for him, it's just been the confidence of really